that in post, actually.
Oh, God.
Yes, it did actually.
Yeah.
So they didn't mind getting really wet for the sake of
No, they were fun actually. I remember Martin coming back to the hotel and going, I think they had a lot of fun actually. I know Martin said he said the same thing. What they managed to get in that little time was incredible. And they all, I think all three of them had a nice time actually. I think they enjoyed that scene.
Well,
I don't think it's Douglas's favourite day.
No,
really.
but technically it must be a nightmare to film something like that.
I think he's proud of it now.
No, I think it's private. And there was a point where they were doing close-ups, I think, the next day or something.
Right, yes,
with this Lametta, wasn't it, behind them and a light. I'm thinking, this is never going to cut in. It looked like some sort of Christmas shot, but it worked brilliantly.
It's very clever.
Under their beautiful costumes, are they wearing like wetsuits and stuff to keep them, or how does it work?
They were, weren't they?
Yeah.
Yes.
I think so,
But it
yeah.
was, I mean, it's not freezing, it's not like...
And they were inside, it was all inside.
Right, of course.
It's just kind of, having done it myself, it's kind of relentless.
Yeah.
And it's a bit like you just realise that now every part of you is wet.
Yeah, and you can't get it dry.
You just kind of get...
Yeah, it's fine.
It's just heavy.
Yeah.
But having a fight is keeps you going. I think that's...
And it is about as iconic as Sherlock Holmes gets.
Yeah.
That's to do that, and to do it the way it sounded, the way it was illustrated originally was incredibly exciting. I think I saw one review saying, what was it? Of course, you didn't really need that. I just want to say, what do you mean need? We actually need to do anything. It's a television program. A made-up detective solving made-up crimes. It's not actually strictly necessary. It's Reichenbach, and it's Sherlock Holmes, and it's Moriarty. You don't need Santa Claus ever. What you don't need? Oh no.
But there's a lot in this episode of that, isn't there? Of giving us, I felt like me as a fan giving me treat after treat. Like you do
I'm afraid they're all for us, really.
Yeah.
Are they? That's true.
Share our treats.
Writing back the scene where recreating the real opening where Sherlock meets meets Watson and the whipping of the dead body and all of that. And there's that wonderful scene where Sherlock and Watson are together intimately talking about where he starts talking about Sherlock's past and trying probing him a bit, which that felt to me like a kind of another great treat for us to see, just a little bit challenged, a little bit.
Funny enough, quite a few of those scenes, it's not, I mean, obviously we've done the beginning before, but the chance to do them in their original context opened up a lot of doors. I remember saying we need to do a scene like in The Speckled Band, where they're staking out the house, and Watson says, "Oh God, this is the longest night of my life." One of those, because there's a lot of those. It feels like there's a lot of them.
And there was also more in that script where we just sort of went, we're going to wait outside, and then we'll go and get involved in the adventure, and that's what happened.
Yeah.
And you realise we actually have to stop. Because just pace-wise, you can't bear it. They actually have to sit and talk. And we went backwards and forwards over that scene a lot.
But also, there's some of the best scenes there.
It's a beautiful scene.
And it's as we know, it's what people really love about the show more than any spectacle and the actual crime of the week.
Yeah.
It is when you find a little bit more about our favourite heroes.
Yeah.
It is.
But it's also that thing, because we discussed what we're going to do in this scene. Dr. Watson, at some point, in any version, whatever version, must have sat Sherlock Holmes down at some point and said, come on, what's the truth? I know what I write, but what's the truth?
Yeah.
What happened?
Do you know, I would say, as being in the middle of writing Series 4 at the moment, if anything, it's like a good writing exercise for the show. It's to look at the stories and think, what did Doyle not do in terms of what must have gone on? If you had two men living together, at some point, even if you back project, he would have asked him, have you ever, and actually that's a very good way of opening new avenues, is to, like we said with...
Well, like The Best Man, wasn't it, as well?
He must have been the best man.
He must have been his best man. Or with Charles Augustus Magnuson, in the original story, Charles Augustus Milverton, has an odd end where they break into Milverton's house and a completely unrelated character whom he has been blackmailing kills him, grinds her foot into his face, and then they Scarpa with the police on it. I remember when we talked about it, it's like, no, that didn't happen. It's like Doyle has actually adjusted the truth, or Watson has.
Yeah. It reads as though Watson's adjusted the truth because he doesn't want to admit what he did was break in and shoot Milverton, and he's written this for the Strand magazine in order to cover up. But I also wonder what Doyle was intending to write that, and thought, no, I can't actually have him just shoot Milverton. So we restore what I think
to the boy.
is the intent. We just did it.
But I think it does. You can sort of think. You look at a story you're very familiar with and think, I wonder what else happened in this domestic situation that we were never privy to.
Yeah.
Of course, the other thing that happened in the Reichenbach Falls scene is the elementary, my dear Watson at last. How have you been